All right, what's up, guys? Jacob here. It is Easter Sunday, 2020. I am at my ranch right now. I came down, drove down to a pond with our ranger to shoot this video. And for this video today, like I said, it's Easter Sunday, and so I kind of wanted to talk about Jesus, really, and kind of my interpretation and kind of the meaning behind Easter Sunday to me. And yes, there's a theological meaning, there's a spiritual meaning of Christ being resurrected, right? But I kind of want to go into the psychological significance of Christ being resurrected, right? And so just to kind of dive into this real fast, a lot of this understanding comes from people like Jordan Peterson. It comes from my own interpretations of the Bible. It comes from reading other spiritual texts. And I've kind of, just found my own understanding of what it means. And so, the basis outline for that is Jesus was so serious about standing for the truth and about standing for the Word of God and living that out in his days, that he was willing to die for this truth, right? And I don't know about you guys, but it's hard to imagine being willing to die for anything that I believe in, right? But following this path of being willing to sacrifice your life for the truth is essentially the most meaningful path you can follow, and we see this in other people in history, like Socrates, for example. He was, let's say, for lack of a better term, preaching his ideas and his truths, and he, and the state was, we're going to kill you if you continue to do this. If you do not leave, and they gave him the chance to leave, if you do not leave, we will kill you. And Socrates, was notorious for following the voice in his head, and the voice in his head told him that he better stay, because if he's willing to, flee from this because he's scared to die, then everything he set up to this point has no meaning, right? And going into Jesus, Jesus is, this prime example of sacrifice. He sacrificed everything for God. He sacrificed everything for the truth and the Word and what he had to say, And another note on top of this, right, is how do you apply that into your life? And, maybe it's sacrificing certain friends. Maybe it's sacrificing that job that you have, that it doesn't align with your moral values or keeps you limited towards pursuing, a path that you want to follow. Maybe it's, family members. Maybe it's certain things that you need to sacrifice in your life to be able to follow the word of your truth or follow the word of God. And when I chose to follow the word of God, I had to sacrifice a lot at the time, and this main shift came from, when I started my clothing company, when I started Know the Road. Know the Road was this expression of going on the journey towards truth. And when I decided to drop out of school and pursue art and creativity and stop partying and stop worrying what people thought about me and all these things, that's going to sacrifice certain things out of your life. That's going to sacrifice the people that don't align with that truth that you have. But then going into the next aspect of Jesus is that when you are willing to sacrifice everything, then comes the resurrection, then comes this new pathway towards God, and there's certain people that hear that and they're like, you are undermining the story of Jesus when you say something like that. And I understand when certain people say that, but you need to be able to take the application from these stories and be able to apply it into your life, or apply it into your life. And one thing with that is kind of what the story of the resurrection shares, is that when you're willing to sacrifice everything and you do so having faith in the truth and having faith in something more to come, and you fully trust in God, then God will take you on that path, and if you're pursuing it for the right reasons, if you're not pursuing, it for luxury or vain or whatever it may be, you have to pursue these things with meaning, with purpose, and for the truth, for God. And so, you know, I wanted to share that, because a lot of people, you know, like when it used to be Easter Sunday for me before I found these ideas, you know, it was just Easter Sunday. It was people talking about Christ being resurrected, and it was always the same message, you know. And I wanted to share a different message, an applicable message, you know, for all of you, that what I get from this is, if you sacrifice everything for your truth and for God, then God will be there. And if you have faith in God, God will pull you through and resurrect you through, you know, this hardship, right? Because at first, when you sacrifice everything, you're going to lose everything. You know, you're going to lose your life, essentially. Everything you identify with, everything that's been normal for the last 5 years. But through that, or 10 years, or whatever it is, right? But through that sacrifice, you will become more, and you will become more enlightened, and you will become more centered and fulfilled and purposeful, and you will be closer to God. You know, they say Jesus is at the right hand of God, you know, the seat next to the Father in the kingdom. And, you know, I think that is a truth to follow. I think that the main premise of Christianity is to bear the hardship for the world, and to make those sacrifices necessary to follow the truth. And then that if you do that, God will reward you for that. And, you know, so that's a message I wanted to share. I hope you guys all had a good Easter. Like I said, I'm at my ranch with my grandparents. We had a wonderful lunch, wonderful meal. I went on a wonderful walk with my grandmother. But yeah, it's just been a great day. I had this, you know, this beautiful land to experience. I'm very grateful, you know, and a lot of this came from sacrifice that my grandparents made for my family, you know. So I encourage you guys, make those sacrifices, take those jumps, empower yourself, you know, through God, empower yourself through the friends that you hang out with, empower yourself through you. You know, be strong, realize that you're capable, make those sacrifices, go through the hardship, but trust in God, trust in the unknown, trust in the universe, that taking that route that you know you should take will be worth it, and that it will come through in the end. But yeah, thank you guys. Thanks for watching. As always, please like, subscribe, share with your friends. But yeah, have a good Easter. Thanks.